Hello 11th class. This is your chapter 8 conditional and iterative statements and lecture number 3. So first we have to discuss the homework that I gave you in previous video in the previous class also. So the question number 1 is write a program to find the greatest number among the three numbers. So here is the code. In this I have taken three variables, that is a, b, c of float type. Then you have to compare it by using if statement, that if a is greater than b and a is greater than c, then it will print a. If b is greater than a and b is greater than c, then it will print b. And in the last else part, I have just written the c value. Okay, so this is your program. First, that is greatest number among the three numbers. Now question number second, write a program to find whether a given number is even number or odd number. So here also you have to use the if statement and else statement, and I have used here the modulus operator that I discussed in the previous chapter operator. Modulus operator give you the remainder. So here this num is equal to int input enter a number. You have to enter a number from the user. Then if num mod 2 is equal to 0. If this condition is true, then the number is even, otherwise the number is odd. Now question number third, write a program to test the divisibility of a number with another number. So here is the code. This Q is the quotient, D is the divisor and R is the remainder. So if R is equal to 0, then it will say that number is divisible by this number. Else the number is not divisible by this number. Okay, so this is your program for third, question number third. So in this class, we will cover the topic, that is first iteration, then types of loop. In this we will discuss for loop, while loop, then range function, after this infinite loop, and in the last nested loop. So the first one is iteration. So what is iteration? So iterative or looping statements in a program are executed when a certain set of statements needs to be executed multiple times in a loop. Okay, so when you need a statement that run multiple times, so it is a iteration. Next is the set of statements that are repeated again and again is called the body of the loop. The condition on which the execution or exit of the loop depends is called the exit condition or the test condition. So this iteration has these two statements, that is it has first the body of the loop and the second one is it has a condition so that the loop will terminate. So next is types of loop. So first one is the for loop and second is the while loop. So we will discuss now, that is for loop. So the for statement is used to iterate or repeat itself over a range of value or a sequence. Okay, these value can be either numeric, list, string or tuple. So in the for loop you can use any of the value. So in this, with every iteration of the loop, the control variable check whether each of the value in the range has been traversed or, no, or not. Okay. So when all the items in the range are included, then the body of the loop is not executed anymore and the control is then transferred to the statement that is immediately after the for loop. Okay. So now this is the syntax of your for loop. So it is the variable for is a keyword. Now you have to write the control variable, then use the keyword in, then sequence. So it is a block, so you have to use the colon symbol. Now you have to write the statements in body of loop and the else part is there. This else part is execute when the for loop iteration get over and the else part get executed. Okay, when this for loop easily terminate, then this else part will execute. Okay, next is your for loop Python program. So I am writing some program. For example, for letter in Python. Okay, so It is a block, use colon. Now print what? That is letter. Okay. Now you have to run it. So save your file. This is for loop first program. This print statement has double T, so just remove it. Now run it. So it will give you the answer, that is Python in a new line. Okay. Why this will come? Because here this letter in Python. So it will take one by one character and then print it. So first it will take P, then it will print, then second it will take Y, and then it will print this letter, then T, then it will print, then H, then O, and then N. Okay, so this is the working of this for loop. Next is, suppose I am writing the variable C is equal to a list, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is a list. So here you want to print the value. For example, this count in C, and now print count. So run it. It will give you 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So this is a list. So here also this count variable will check the element 10 in the list. Yes. The for loop will count the first one, that is 10. Then it will print. Next is 20. Then it will print. Next is 30. Then it will print. Okay. So in the list, first it will just collect the variable, collect the list of the item, then it will print. Okay. This is your second one. Now next is, for example, this num has this list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 elements are there. Now you want to check even an odd element. Now n in num, then if n mod 2 is equal to 0, then print, what will you print? That n is even number. It will just check on the even number. Okay, so just save and run. So 2 is even number, 4 is even, 6 is even, 8 is even. Okay, so when you run this num is the list. Now for n in num, n is a variable that will check that this element, it will just take the element from the list, and then if n mod 2, it will just divide the number and then find whether the number is even or odd. Okay, so this loop will run till the last condition will reach, till the last element will reach. Okay, now this is your second program. Next is, for example, you have taken the variable, the integer value for I in this 1, 2, 3 in a string. Okay, it is a string because I have used a single quote. So again you have to print this. I have discussed already that welcome comma I, you want to print the value also, then blank, then times. Okay, now just run it. So welcome 1 time, welcome 2 time, welcome 3 time. Okay, I hope it is clear now. So this is your program. So now move to the next one, that is for loop Python program. It is done now. Next is your range function. Okay, so this range function is also important, and range function is used with for loop. So the range is a built-in function in Python and is used to create a list containing a sequence of numbers starting with the start and ending with one less the one less than the stop. Okay, so here this command is first one, range 10. So range 10 will return 0 to 9, means 1 less than. So it will start from the 0 and it will return till 9. So total 10 elements are there. Range 1 to 11. So 1 is the start position, 11 is the end position. So it will start with 1 and now it will go till n minus 1. So it will go till 10. Now 0, 30, 5. So 0 is the start, 30 is the end and 5 is the step value. Step value means difference. So first it will start with 5. So 5 is a positive number, so it will move ahead 5. Okay, so 0 plus 5, that is 5. So next number is 5. After this again 5 will increase, then 10, then 15, then 20, then 25. Why 13 will not come? Because the range will be 0 to n minus 1. So the last element is 29. That's why 29, this 30 will not come. Next is 0 to minus 9 and minus 1. Here this minus 1 is step value. So here 0, minus 1, minus 2, 3, minus 4, minus 6, okay, till minus 8. Okay, these value will come. So the argument of range function must be integer. Okay, the argument, these are the arguments inside this function. Whatever the value is there is called arguments. The step parameter can be any positive or negative integer other than 0. The step value means the third one. This third one is the step value, so that it can be a positive value, negative value, or it can be a 0. Now next is your while loop. So while loop is a while statement in Python executes a block of code repeatedly as long as the test control condition of the loop is true. Okay, so here in this test expression, it will check the condition. It will check the condition. Then if it is false, this one is false and this is true part. So if the condition is true, then the body of the loop is get executed. Again the control condition of loop is tested. It is true, then again it will go and the loop continues as long as the condition remains true. When the test outcome of this condition become false, this one become false, so the loop is not entered again and the control is transferred to the statement that is immediately following the body of the loop. Okay, so if the test expression is true, then it will just enter in the body of the loop. If the text expression is false, then it will just come out of the loop. This is your while loop. Now this is the syntax of this while loop. This while, then test expression, then body of while. Okay, the else part is also here. It is an optional part, that it is optional and executed when test condition evaluates to false. And then this is the body of the else. Now we have to run some Python program also that is related to while. So suppose I had shown you the program that is counted, that is printed 1 to 5. Okay, now I am writing this program by using while loop. So how will you write? So suppose c is equal to 1. Initial value you have to mention. So while c less than equal to 5. This is the condition now. Then use the colon symbol. Now print count c. Print c and then you have to increment the value of c. Okay, now just see the output. It will give you 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so in this the initial value should be given, that from where the value should begin. Now while 1 is less than equal to 5, it will check the condition. If it is true, then it will enter in the loop. Then it will print c. Now the c's value get increased. Now it become 2. So 2 less than equal to 5, it is true, condition true. Now it will print 2. Now c will become 3. Again it will check 3 less than equal to 5, it is true. Then print 3. Same happen with the fourth and fifth term. So this is your while loop. Now next is while loop with the else condition. So x is equal to 0, y is equal to s is equal to 0. So while this x is less than 10, then s is equal to s plus x. Now x is equal to x plus 1. Now else part, that print what the sum of first 9 integers, because here I have the loop will run less than n. Okay, it is not equal to 10, that's why the first 9 term, the sum of first 9 integers is comma s. Okay, so you have to run it. The sum of first 9 integer is 45. So here what it will do, first the value of x is 0. Now s is equal to 0. So while x is less than 10, so first it will take the value of x is 0. Now sum is 0. So s will get the value 0. Now x is equal to x plus 1. So what is the value of x now? That is 0. So it will become 0 plus 1, that is 1. Now the value of x is 1. Again it will check that 1 is less than 10. Yes. Now enter in the loop. Now s is equal to, what is the previous value of x is 0. And now the new value of x is 1. So the value of s will become 1. Now the x value, that is also updated. 1 plus 1, 2. Again it will check 2 less than 10, condition true. Now the previous value of s is 1. So 1 plus 2, that is 3. Now the x value of x get increase. Now it will become 3. So again it will check. Now here the value of it will become 1 plus 2, that is 3. Now the fourth will come. So 3 plus 4, that is 7. Okay. So by this way the value of x get increased and the previous value of this s will come here and the updated value of x will get added with this sum value s value. Okay. So your this is your program to find sum of the integers. Now next is infinite loop. So the term infinite means that the condition that never become, that the condition that never end. So in this a loop becomes a infinite loop if a condition never become false. So that loop will be a infinite loop. Okay. So what is the code for an infinite loop? That is, for example, this variable equal to 1. Now while variable equal to 1, so it will print, will ask first the user will get the value, enter the value, that is int. Now input, enter a number, user will enter the number. Now you have to print user entered which number, that is none. Okay. Now you have to print, that is outside of this while loop. Okay. So these statements are the part of this while and this statement print is not the part of this while. So here you have to write the while. Control S. Now just check that enter a number. Suppose 5 is there. So again enter a number. It will not end. It will keep on asking. Okay, and the loop will just go on. So you have to close it to terminate it. Yes, still running. You want to kill it. Okay. Clear? So this is your example of infinite loop. Now next is nested loop. So a nested loop, that a loop may contain another loop as a part of its body, and this loop inside a loop is called a nested loop. So once the condition of outer loop is true, the control is transferred to the inner loop. The inner loop is terminated first and then the outer loop terminates. Okay. So this is a program. This is a nested while loop. Okay. So I will just show you that nested while loop and nested for loop. So you can see that this value of I is equal to 2. Now while I less than equal to 0. So this I is a loop control variable for the outer loop and is assigned a value, that is 2, before the loop execution begin. Now next is this one. So the text expression is checked for the outer loop first. This one is your outer loop. Now the value of j is 2 now. Okay. J is a control variable that is inside this inner loop. This one, this is a text expression. It will check whether this j is equal to 0, greater than equal to 0 or not. So this while is your outer loop, this j while loop is your inner loop. Now it will print 2 comma and then j is equal to j minus 1. Now the value of j get decreased. So first it will check that the value of I is 2, so 2 is greater than 0. Now condition true. Now the value of j is 2, so it will check till the condition the j gets 0 value. So first iteration, the j will become 2, 2 greater than 0, it will run, it will print 2. Okay, and space me after 2 you have a space is there. Now j minus 1, so this 2 will become now 1. So 1 is greater than 2, yes, again 2 will print, now space. Now the value of j will become 0. Now again the condition is true. So the value of 2 again print. So in a one line, 3 2 will print by separated by one single space. Now the j value become minus 1, negative. So the condition will become false. Now print, blank print here. So it will print the new line. Now I equal to I minus 1. Now I will become 1. Again it will check that I less than equal to 0. So again the value of j will become 2 and the loop will run the same. So again 3 2 will come. Now the value of I will become 0. Again it will check the value of I, it is true. Now j is equal to 2. Again the loop will run for j. Okay. So the output of this code is this one. I hope it is clear now. Now next is your nested for loop. So here you have to use the for loop inside the for loop. The same funda is there. That is the I in range. This is the outer loop. This j is the inner loop. Okay. So here the range function is there. So now the value of I will become 1, 2, 3. That is from n minus 1. Now the j range will depend on the I variable. So first the value of I is 1. 1, so it will 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now the loop will run 1 to 1, only one time this loop will run. Now the value of j will become 1, so it will print only 1 and then space, and okay. Now the next line will come print. Now the value of I will get increased, that is 2. Now the j loop will run 1 to 2 plus 1, that is 3. Now the loop will run 1 and 2 times. Okay, so the value will print 1 and 2. Now the next line will get next line will come by this print statement. Now the value of I will become 3. So here the loop will run 1 to 4. So it will run 1 to n minus 1, that is 1 to 3. So now the value will become 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so now the loop will get over, and what is the output? That is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope these two nested loops are clear to you. So time for your homework. That is question number 1. You have to convert this while loop into the for loop. This is question number 1. Question number 2. This is for loop. You have to convert it into while loop. This is your question number 3. Write a program to accept a number from user and print the table of that number. This is question number 3. Question number 4. Write a program to print Fibonacci series up to a certain limit. Okay. So thank you and have a nice day.